So now let's move to next keynote profile, Nilesh Charankar. Mr. Nilesh Charankar is a globally recognized AI leader with 18 plus year of experience and a senior IEEE member. His topic is
Oh,
so can you present your screen?
yeah. Let me present my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening and good morning. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to give my thoughts about the AI automations for the business processes in finance and healthcare. So today we'll be discussing about what is the AI power automation and how that automation is basically helping the AI in the finance and healthcare sector to improve their business processes with the help of AI. Apart from that, how the automations are there, like how we design that automations, how the architecture of that automations is generally present. We will go through a couple of case studies for the finance and healthcare sectors. There are a couple of challenges also, and we need to do some considerations while doing this automations. That also will go through it. Apart from that, we'll see a couple of future trends currently trending in those sectors, and then we'll figure it out how the AI is helping and everything. So in those areas. So now, if you see, like in automation area, using the AI, uh, there are like technologies are evolving, the business needs in the finance sectors as well as in the uh, healthcare sector. Basically, the significant technology changes are helping to grow the business. But when we see those sectors, basically, uh, the they are helping in the in the like doing the transformations or of those business with the help of resolving the complex processes um, and then streamlining them with the help of very less human interventions. If we see in the healthcare and finance sectors, basically the data is more sensitive and it is regulated with driven by a couple of rules and regulations. So in that scenario, basically, if we see the automations is helping it is to those because those are basically these kind of sectors automations can AI automations can handle very effectively. If we see in the like traditional, there were a couple of challenges like high operational cost or lengthy time to do those processes in those sectors, and there are chances of human errors are there. So those basically the AI automations can handle very effectively. So, for example, in finance sectors, if you see, like AI can help us to do the fraud detections, risk management, or the automations, tradings, and custom service improvements. In healthcare areas, like AI automations can help do the patient data management, diagnostic analysis, and do the administrative workflows, so that patients or the end clients can get better results on those areas. So overall, if we see the AI automations can help us to do the innovate, do the scalability in those business processes. And apart from that, we can use take the competitive advantage of the business with the help of these AI processes. So learning more, understanding more, uh, understanding more in those AI powered automations, basically, we can use full blown potential of this business, this bank, the financial domain or healthcare domains, and uh, but there are challenges that we need to address while using those potentials, and we can improve the cover up the whole business, most of the business needs, so that the business operations can run smoothly. So that's how the basically the AI can help on the broader pictures on those domains. We'll see what so how the AI automations is been work. So basically, the AI automation is basically the combination of different AI technologies, which I can say like a combination of those basically helping the business. So the technologies is like a machine learning, uh, natural NLP, neural network. Apart from that, like a computer vision and machine learning. So these are the different technologies comes together, and with the help of those technologies, we are solving the issues, challenges in the business processes to improve the business. So it can helpful like for example taking the decisions or improving the addressing the couple of issues like fraud detections or any other challenges where basically we don't need much human interventions. So overall, like getting the intelligence, providing the intelligence or learning the more data patterns, making the decisions, adapting to the new challenge, new requirements or new challenges with minimal efforts. All those basically we can do with the help of these automations. So here are a couple of things like in automations areas, like intelligence basically help us to interpret the data, recognize the patterns, and makes the decisions. Uh, with the help of like different ML, machine learnings or NLP. So machine learnings is basically has models, and those it can help us to take help us to understand the different patterns or inputs and then provide based outcomes on based on that. The NLP basically interprets the data and generate the human related the outcomes, so that like for example chatbots or virtual assistants is there, so that basically works like a human in a human similar to human interactions. So this kind of technology can help us in the automations for us. Apart from that, robotics basically process automations also one of the area where basically repetitive tasks or rule based tasks like data entry or transaction processing can be addressed with the help of that technology, so that automations can be possible. Like the computer vision basically help us to do the automations of like a process analyzing the images, videos, and supporting the different diagnostics and surveillance on those areas. So this is one of the another AI technology which help us to do the automations very effectively in the image sector. Now we'll see like all those basically the combination of all those technologies basically provide us the automations. They benefits in different ways to all those finance and health sectors in a different ways. So like whenever there are like a different repetitive task or time consuming task, basically that can be make operational faster, allowing overall allowing the workflows to better operate so that it can improve the efficiency of the processes is possible. In case of like a healthcare sector, for example, personalized services has been provided with based on the individual preferences with the help of AI automation, so that we can read the liking, dislikings, or their personal suggestions or anything we can do it with the help of these AI automations, so that like a experience or patient experience has been improved on those areas. Apart from that, like whenever the business processes needs like it expands the demands or more outcomes is expected for a certain time of period or larger time of period, but all those this scalability and flexibility needs can be addressed with the help of AI automations. There are a couple of things when comes into the picture that like certain patterns or certain based on certain data, there are decisions also we need to make that basically analyze the larger data in a very short amount of time by reading the different patterns, trends, and anomalies. So basically, that can be handled with the of AI automations and basically the decision making or providing the processing of those data are much faster in case of AI automations if we use it. Apart from that, overall, like a combination of all those, like better efficiency or experience, scalability, increasing the scalability, better data insight and decision makings, all those got improved. Basically, that helped us to reduce the cost. Because basically we reduce the errors and penalties because of some rules and regulations can be avoided, and very minimum time of spans basically we can generate the outcomes for the end clients in the both sectors like financial and healthcare. So that will definitely reduce the cost of business. So overall, if we see the automations basically, so it will help those businesses to provide the intelligence, make the make the solutions competitive and responsible. So the more and more innovation on those areas is definitely helpful to the improve these business processes and make the customer and client satisfied. So those kind of benefits basically we will get it in the sectors of improving the AI automation. Now we'll see the how that automations is basically generally is designed on those areas. So this in those areas basically the designing part of this automations is basically it has like a data layer. So data layer basically in this data layer basically the different data from the different sources like data lake, warehouse comes like after the data processing with the help of ETL pipelines comes into the pictures, and those data basically is available after the from the different sources. So that data basically analyzed with the help of AI and in the analytical layer. So that analytical layer basically those data basically whenever those data analyze is based on like machine learning models or natural neural net processing basically helps us. Like machine learning models, there are different models. So these models basically get the inputs from these data, then analyzes those data, and based on that basically we can create with the help of NLP we can provide the human related outcomes. So those basically can be designed in the analytical layers to analysis those data. Once that the analysis of those data has been done, it comes to the decision making layer. So decision making layer is basically where actual decisions has been taken based on the data analysis data, and then with the help of different models or NLP also help over there to make those decisions. Once that is decision has been finalized, basically then those layers basically interact with the application layers. So application layers is basically might be consisting means consisting of different like input from the AI layer, decision making layer, and as well as the backend services like API and all. So all those basically both inputs like decision making and based on the business, because backend services or APIs basically has different business logic with to interact with the different worlds to pull the data and then takes the inputs of those data and then do some business process on those data. So basically combination of both can be helpful to use with the custom interface in the application layer. So customer interface, basically all those data, whatever we are inputting or getting, all those data is basically the business and finance sector is more sensitive. So that data is basically we need to, in the security and compliance layers, we need to make it secure. So there are means where like there are we can do the encryptions or provide some access controls and also provide the audit logs. The audit logs is basically helping us to whenever we work with those data. So what processing we are doing, who has access, everything has been audited and logged. Apart from that, the these data basically is sensitive, so that's why in those areas basically we need to maintain the data privacy regulations like CCPA or GDPR. So these are basically regulations provided to those data so that the sensitive informations of those users or end client should be maintained. Apart from that, the system challenges like system problems like fraud detections, frauds and everything, basically to handle those basically fraud preventions, we have to like address this with the help of monitoring and anomaly detection systems. So those systems basically comes under the security and compliance layers. So whenever we design that those systems, basically we need to take care of monitoring and anomaly detections so that any patterns or any fraud related or any misuse of data has been addressed immediately. Once those basically package of that automations has been ready and there, we need to deploy that. So basically we need for infrastructure that. So there are the two ways of those infrastructure, either in-prem or the in the cloud. So if we wanted to go with the cloud, there are different clouds like Azure, AWS, or GCP are currently preferable. So where we can deploy those and make them security robust and then to the get the advantage of these automations for these processes. So now we'll see some couple of studies in the like finance and finance sector. So Secure Bank basically has created the fraud detection system, which is they have named as a FinSecure AI. So basically, they were having issues with frauds and then very difficult challenges with anti-money laundering issues. So thousands of transactions they do daily, and to manage those with the help of human is very difficult. So they overcome with this help of finance and fin secure AI system basically. And while building those, basically they analyze the transaction patterns and they build their own models, which can continuously monitor the new patterns, and then based on that, they able to address the fraud issues, and they build the different fraud tactics to address them. So in that scenario, basically that help them to prevent the fraud, like they're able to detect and block around 3 millions of suspicious transactions in their first of years. Apart from that, like false alarms, basically whatever was causing an issue, they also get reduced by 40% because of reading those patterns and then blocking them. Their operational cost basically in these systems when they deployed, basically their workforce basically they don't reduce by 50% efforts, and approximately 1.5 millions annually they save the cost. So overall, basically, they're able to contribute the profit increase in their first year by 3.5 million. So how that FinSecure, once they install automated their systems, help let them to detect and improve their business processes. This is one of the example. Apart from that, like in healthcare also, there is another example I noticed is the MedTech Diagnostics, which is in radio analysis, image analysis company. Basically, they was facing the large amount of data to diagnose and process their images. Was a very hectic task. So basically, with the help of this AI radiology image analysis uh, AI automation systems, basically, they able to do that very effectively. So they used the deep scans AI, and they implemented that, and apart from that, the learning algorithms they have implemented to address those images, to process those images very accurately and effectively. So these images are processed very accurately and fast, which basically helps them to reduce like reduce the times by 70%. So they are able to respond the patients in the same day, um, by processing these radiology images. So, and apart from while processing all those faster way, basically, they provided the accuracy by around 50% accuracy has been improved in those AI automations. Their workload also got reduced by 30%, and the other workload can basically focus on the reduce the complex cases which comes day by day, and there are a lot of variations. So they are able to focus on those. So overall, they got the gain around like their contribution throughout the years. Their annual revenue is around reached, means increased by 2 millions. So overall, they got profit on that. So this system basically helps the medtech diagnostics to do the earlier treatment, the earlier treatment, reduce the hospital stays, and improve the recovery. So overall, this effectively those systems automations are helping in the healthcare sector also, with the help of new technology. There are a couple of challenges I can address in those areas like data privacy, and then when we implement these automations, so we need to maintain the data privacy and security, because healthcare, business, and finance sectors are very data sensitive, and those data has some rules and regulations while presenting to the end client. So that is one thing. Apart from that, we need to maintain the regulatory compliance. Another thing is there are big challenges, ethical consideration and bias when this making the decisions. Basically, if we see, there are the ethical challenges are there. So like a decision should not go to the specific group or specific race, gender, or anything. So that is the one of the challenge. So whenever we deploy the solutions, these kind of ethical bias should be considered as a top priority. Otherwise, dealing all those will impact certain regions, certain areas, certain race, certain genders. So which is not the way of implementing standard way of implementing those AI. Apart from this, integrating these AI with the the legacy systems, or getting the infrastructure of the with the those older systems with the help of AI is little bit challenging. So we need to consider their times and their workarounds and for while dealing with the AI automations. So there sometimes there will be an high initial investments to address those couple of challenges, but we need to consider them and um, work around that while implementing the automations in early stages. There are few future trends I noticed is like personalized healthcare. So in personalized healthcare, like providing the healthcare to the specifically precisely to the customers and clients, so that they can have the precise therapies with the help of these automations. So automations basically reads customers and provides the different personalized healthcare options in the analysis area, like predictive analysis. So the defining the strategies and everything in advance. So one of the trending currently is proactive and preventive strategies built instead of giving the reactive responses to them. in the area of the handling the big data, basically another is currently trending AI with the IoT and big data. So basically, it provides the good interpretive to handle the massive data. That is another currently trending. So AI automations is helping them in a very huge, very effective manners in those areas. And the another one is quantum computing, basically, which is like complex problems, complex areas, basically where we are resolving the complex issues and providing the outcomes. So the quantum computing basically is a very now growing area where AI is helping in a very effective way. AI automations are dealing all those complex compilations is very effectively without with very with most of the accuracy. So how that like a future trend currently in those sectors and those areas are helping out. Overall, like if you say, AI is helping improving the efficiency, accuracy, and decision making in the healthcare and finance sectors. Uh, like the challenges are there, like ethical considerations, data privacy, but that needs to be addressed while in hand before starting with the AI automation. So considering that is one of the things we need to do. The future trends like personalized treatments or automations, autonomous systems or predictive analysis is basically currently trending, and with the high tech like quantum computing and all currently trending. Overall, taking the taking the help of AI automations basically, and addressing the issues, challenges, and then the growing needs. Basically, AI automations can help, and which will helpful to those organizations to do their sustainable growth and do the innovations to address the new challenges in the business. Yeah, so those are basically automations right now helping on the broader areas on those sectors, and I think so, we'll keep continuing on growing. Yeah, thank you. If you have any things to know more or about that, I can available on the my personal ID, and we can take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nilesh. If anyone has any question, they can raise their hand.
Thank you, Dr. Nilesh, for this insightful presentation. I have a question regarding this. Your and the question. My question is, in finance and healthcare, where decisions are high risk, how do organizations decide which task should be fully automated by AI and which must remain human controlled?
Uh, Basically, like while addressing those issues, because the data is more sensitive in those areas, so organization basically the automation tasks takes in a such a way that, like while building a system or anything, so the ethical bias or data privacy, all those regulations, who are the AI automations, if they are covering those sensitive areas without having any issues, those tasks basically they takes into as a priority to do the automations. But some certain task like they think that like it is violating the rules of GDP or CCPR or any those kind of sectors in business finance, or maybe while designing the AI automations, if it is not fully like technology is covering those sectors, like it may provide